done. You're gonna be taking splinters out of your fat asses all night long because you got fat asses. The only one chance you have no chance. If you had a chance, you could run lickety split. But you can't run because you're the fat asses. Well, Ric Flair, you know what? I'm not a normal looking athlete myself. You know what I'm talking about? I've been in the gyms a lot. It's a privilege and an honor to walk out with Ole Anderson, Lex Luger, and the Omni tomorrow night.
I am not a happy camper. What is Bully Ray's motivation? You know, I know he loves sugar. But I check my pocket. I don't have no donuts. I don't have no cheeseburger. I know you love sugar, but I ain't got none.
To be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here in Nashville, Tennessee, pal. I'm the man.
Booking a match for the total package like Luger and Super Brawl? Super Saturday? What is it? I don't know what it's called. What is it called?
Super Brawl Saturday.
Super Brawl Saturday?
You don't lose faith in winners. And Ric Flair, day in and day out, every day of his life, just keeps winning and winning and winning.
Ric Flair! New York City, Ric Flair! You're gonna find out what hard is all about! I do exactly what I want to do. You say I'm insane. I say thank you very much.
Make a good lucha.
I hate God!
Hit the deck! Yes! We love you, Scott Steiner!
Today, I've got the star and profile like never before. You guys talk about being students of the game. I am the game, JR.
What is up, everybody? How is it going? I hope it's going good. It is a Wednesday night, and man, am I glad to be back. It has been a rough it was fun, but it was a rough week of traveling for me. I'll get into that in just a couple minutes here, but I am Boxman. This is Wrestling Outlet, and of course, across from me is...
Well, I am the one and only, your co-pilot. It is I, Smark Wahlberg. How are you, sir?
Like I said, a little tired. I'm getting too old for this shit. Getting too old for a 20-hour drive, man. I went on down to Florida, took the kids, took the wife. We had a great time down there. I needed that. I needed to be reminded I still got friends, just not here in Texas. But the first night we were there, I was there for a surprise party for my one of my best friends. And I'm there, and I swear we would start talking about somebody, and 5 minutes later they would show up. We had my whole old crew back together. One of my friends, Matt, I hadn't seen in 20 years, basically 15 to 20 years, showed up. My friend Joe drove all the way down from Tampa to see me. That's a 5-hour drive. It was just a really, really fucking good time. Then took the kids to do a bunch of stuff. Took the kids to do a bunch of stuff that I didn't even know you could do. Because, you know, when you live there, you don't do the touristy stuff. So
Right.
we took the kids on an airboat. I'm like, wait a minute, you can go on an airboat? Yeah, you can go on an airboat. Kids loved it. Loved it. The kids saw the beach for their first time. My daughter wanted nothing to do with the ocean. Oh, nothing to do with the ocean. That was like a giant endless pool. She had nowhere to pull herself up, so she was like scared to death. And you know, the like she stood there, and as soon as the wave came up and pulled the sand out from under her feet, no, she was done, my friend. Done.
Yeah. The ocean can be dangerous. It can be a scary place.
Yeah, she put a death grip on my legs and didn't let go. But they had a great time. My boys were in the water for an hour. It's about all you can handle out there, man. It is. Listen, it's hot everywhere right now. We're having record heat temperatures here. I'm sure you are there. I know even overseas they're having high temperatures. So I'm not bitching, but really you can only be out there so long. But it was a great time. So I'm glad Bianca called me down there, and boys had a great time. I've never taken my family on a vacation. And I was also reminded that there are amazing looking girls down there. There was one girl on the beach who knew everyone was looking at her. She just kept oiling her body.
Mm-hmm.
She was about 5'2", had to be Colombian or something, and maybe Brazilian. Just kept oiling her amazing. Even my wife was like, does she know everyone's looking? I'm like, of fucking course she does.
I mean, there were multiple clues as to the nationality of this lady before you even chimed in with that. First part would be oiling the body. Second part would be 5'2".
Yeah, clues. Definitely clues. But she was amazing looking. Like I said, she even got my wife's attention. But I mean, she was just over there oiling everything that needed to be oiled. And every guy is getting slapped by their wife and their girlfriends. And she's just over there like in a daze, oiling her breasts.
Rhythmically dancing.
But she didn't have to, trust me. Did not need to rhythmically dance to anything. But it was cool, man. It was a really cool time. Like I said, I had never been able to bring my kids on a vacation, and this was the one time we had the time. My work gave me off. We had the funds to do it. It was like everything just came together very well, and I was glad. I
think I'm just going to go ahead and spend the rest of the show being ashamed of myself, because you were sharing a heartfelt story about like your daughter's first time in the ocean, and I was listening along, and I was like, "Yep, yeah, the ocean can be scary." And you're like, "All right, so there was a Colombian girl on the beach." I was like, "Yes, more information. Tell me more."
I mean, priorities. I mean, it's all about priorities, Mark. I mean, like I said, this girl even got the attention of my wife.
Mm-hmm.
I was proud of my wife for noticing.
It's hard not to sometimes.
Oh, this one was hard not to. I promise you. Everyone. If I had turned around and looked, there were balconies, I'm sure, that had binoculars. I know when my dad lived on Miami Beach, he had binoculars.
Just like the idea of somebody just from a balcony somewhere with one of those fucking opera glasses that they use.
Oh no, they go more high tech than that. I promise. There's telescopes, binoculars.
Mm-hmm.
They go high tech with that shit. Oh, they do.
God bless technology.
But otherwise, besides that, I went to my friend's bar, the one I had been talking about in Pompano Beach. We went out there. Yes, I brought my kids to a bar. My God, did we get flack about that?
I went to a couple of bars when I was a kid, and that had no effect on me, I'm sure.
No, I'm sure not. But I got to tell you what, they had the most fun that night. They played pool. They played the fake darts. You had to get rid of the real darts. I think you can figure out why. It's Florida. So, but they played darts, they played pool. The food was great. I mean, the food was like really, really like, I'm like, this is fucking bar food? Holy shit. So I was impressed with the food, and the kids had a great time, and we were out of there by 11. And it was a Monday night. It was a fucking Monday night. It was no one but 9 or 10 regulars there who looked like they had been there since, well, 9 or 10 in the morning. So...
Yeah, it's not as glamorous as Cheers makes it out to be. It's really more kind of depressing.
Yeah, you're right. It really is a little more depressing than what Cheers does make it to be so nice, so fun, yet nothing you can really do. So, but no, I mean, like I said, it was just cool to have the kids out there one more time, and or for the first time, and they had a blast.
Very good.
And I came back, and I know we were supposed to do a show Saturday. I felt like shit. I should not be driving a 20-hour trip. I felt like shit. It took me 3 days to fucking recover when I got back. I mean, we drank a lot. I'm not saying we didn't. There's also 3 words, Smark, that I need to tell you that I discovered while in Florida.
Okay.
Peanut butter whiskey. Holy shit. Peanut butter whiskey. I came back, and remember, my wife had to go to surgery the day after we got back. So we get back. She goes to surgery. Her mom comes up to stay with her. What do? I go get a bottle of peanut butter whiskey made by Screwball with a K.
I actually think I've heard of them.
I actually drank the whole fucking bottle that night. It was so good. It was so good. It's only 70, proof. Not bad.
Yeah, no, that's what, 35%?
Yeah, it's 35%. That's like nothing. But yeah, I drank the whole bottle. I even gave my my 13-year-old a tiny quarter of a shot of it, and he recoiled and farted so bad I had to leave the room.
Well, yeah, at that point you have to like pause the Cats in the Cradle, the Silver Spoon.
I don't know what died in that kid's ass, but I'm like, dude, we have to change your diet. I don't know what is wrong with you. It was horrible. But yes, I gave my 13-year-old a teeny tiny quarter shot of whiskey. Leave me alone. We were home. We weren't going anywhere.
I did not let my drunk child drive me around.
No, not this week.
Very good. Very good.
And I was the only one allowed to drive in Florida. Those motherfuckers are crazy. Put it this way. I'm telling my wife about, all this shit and all this stuff. Next thing you know, I'm doing 10 miles an hour over the speed limit on the highway. A cop goes zipping by me. And I said, you see, this is Florida. I'm not even going fast enough for this cop to pull me over. I'm going 10 miles an hour above the speed limit, and he blows past me like I'm standing still.
That's it.
Doesn't even give a shit. Fuck me. So, anyway, that was my Florida trip, but I had a blast, man. It was awesome. Didn't get to see everybody I wanted to. Didn't get to do everything we wanted to, but got a lot done in 4 days.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a lot done in 4 days, so it wasn't that bad. But man, I got to tell you, I didn't watch wrestling. I didn't do anything. I missed pretty much everything. No, we didn't see any sharks, Sean. No, we didn't see any sharks. And it was funny though. There was news of an attack like the week before, but I think it was out in Clearwater or somewhere on the Gulf side. No, the Gulf side. It was on the Gulf side. So you actually don't get as many attacks on the Atlantic side. It's more on the Gulf side for some reason. Out in those Tampa, Clearwater, the water's clearer. So it's, I don't know. Maybe they see him better.
Well, there you go.
What the hell? Anywho, I figured I would just talk a little bit about my vacation and why I was gone. I know I was being vague about it. I know my one of my buddy Joe, who came down from Tampa, listens every now and then. I didn't want anyone spoiling the surprise. Trust me, my buddy Mike was surprised I was there. You know, it's funny. I got offered tons of jobs. I'm like, where the fuck were you guys when I, needed a fucking job?
You're offered jobs, were you?
Many.
We're talking, and I I ask you that question watching you sip the beer and doing it almost on purpose.
No.
Well, yep, it's your turn to talk now. As you sip your drink, you let me sip my drink, but I'm going to go ahead and ask you questions as you take your time for.
No, we're talking actual like living wage jobs.
I see. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So no tulips. No tulips.
No. Reasons to bring me back towards Florida. Got a couple of those, but that's not anything that's going to happen right now. So,
I guess related news that it's apparently Shark Week, which AEW gently reminded us of.
Oh, did they?
Yes.
Oh, I had no clue with the shark cage and the fact that people were wearing giant shark fins on their heads like it was a fucking Jimmy Buffett concert.
Yeah, bad boy.
I'm sure you loved it. And yes, we did see Boathausen tonight. Sasha, SBC, man. Going through some shit. I'm sorry, dude. You need to, there's got to be some legal remedies. I'm not going to bring up anything, but you should have some legal remedies if you are, if you're offering payment, is all I'm going to leave it at, right? Just leave it at that. You should have some legal remedies towards that, is all I'm going to leave it at. But good luck on that, man. I hope everything works out for you. Seriously, I do, man. What else? What else? Oh, I don't know what else.
Watch a lot of wrestling. I started like actually watching like actual TV shows like a normal human being. It's a scary transition. I don't like being a regular civilian.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah, I didn't watch. I like stayed off Facebook and everything when I was there. I didn't care about news. I didn't care about wrestling. All I wanted to do was just sit, chill, and stop fucking sweating. At one point, I finally looked at my wife and I'm like, can we do something tomorrow without sweating? I could have stayed at work to sweat all day. So we did. We went to the National Science Museum down there in Broward. That was fun.
The Space Museum in Huntsville last weekend while you were gone.
Oh, I bet that was cool because there's a bunch of crazy shit going on in space right now. And
it was pretty wild because it's, again, in Huntsville, Alabama. There's a lot of people who are surrounded by all kinds of different science things and stuff, exhibits and whatnot. And it's the kind of people who don't believe in science. So it was very interesting. I saw a mullet while we were there by a woman. A woman was wearing the mullet.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking wild.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. All kinds of interesting people. It was a great people watching experience. I got to touch Uranus. That was fun. Whoa.
I don't remember that.
Well, you were pretty drunk.
Obviously. I mean, I hope I liked it.
There you go.
There you go, sir. All right. Oh, fuck. All right. You know what? It's ridiculous to even do plugs at this point. Let's just get right into fucking wrestling. All right. So we're going to have to, I guess, since it's
the most important thing that there is to talk about.
Well, I mean, there's important stuff to talk about in wrestling this week.
Yes, indeed. I'm trying to pull it up. It would make sense if I had this ready. Oh, here we go. Jim Ross had himself some fun on Twitter Monday.
Oh, Yeah, Jim Ross being a little flirtatious with the young ladies.
Yes, of course. Natalia posted a photo on Twitter of her and her sister enjoying some recreational time by the pool. They were all dressed rather appropriately. Everything was above board. No need to worry.
Nope.
Jim Ross tweeted, quote, "She's gorgeous at Nat by Nature. Runs in family, cowboy emoji. Wish she was a bit older, wiki emoji."
I mean,
so Ross just blatantly out here telling Natty that he, I don't know why I made JR a girl, that he wants to fuck her sister. Which, if she's listening, same. But anyways.
yeah, I mean, let's be honest. They are, dude, they could make some real money together in the industry. If you understand what I'm saying.
I mean, it's basically the same industry. There's a lot of baby oil,
Right.
readily available drugs, a lot of faking things. Yeah, it's all, working.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of, and gimmicks are usually involved too sometimes. So it all works. It all works.
You're right. And there are definitely more gimmicks involved nowadays. There's clowns and shit nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I guess I see where you're going there. Doesn't matter, I guess. But anyway, yeah, hey, JR shooting his shot. I mean, what are we gonna do?
I had a pretty fun time with it because, like, as it happened, I was in Jack Evans' Twitch chat and just listening to him like read the messages and laugh to himself was pretty fucking entertaining.
I mean, I can't blame JR that they're both. Natty is getting older and hotter. I don't get it, but that picture she took a couple days ago in that pink lingerie, oh my lord, dude, she just looks amazing.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed.
I know she like kind of grew into her paws like a puppy would. Like she was meant to be a MILF, and then she just got to an appropriate MILF age, and yeah, she's flourishing.
Now she's even more milfy than she was when she wasn't a MILF. What? Mm-hmm. I'm not quite sure where I'm going with that, but definitely looking good. And her sister's gorgeous, dude. They're but I mean, Jesus Christ, they're both just hot, and it's a little weird what they're doing, but
it's very weird.
It's popular,
so I don't have to deal with all that.
It's normalized on Pornhub, and I don't think there's a problem with it. I think we should just leave it at that.
Yeah, they're both adults.
Thank God. Thank God they're both adults, my man. Absolutely.
Quite grown.
Glad they're grown and adult and stuff like that. It's a good thing. All right. So I see we have the age-old AEW Aubrey Edwards is a horrible fucking ref. I may be in the minority, but I like her. She's animated. She just seems like a fun chick. I like her. I know, like I said, I'm kind of in the minority. I don't know, Smark. What do you think?
I was just getting a laugh out of SBC's description of the AEW referee staff. The AEW refs suck. Aubrey, old bald guy, younger bald guy. She is a narcissist. She seems to need attention on her. Older bald guys, Rick Knox, I believe. Younger bald guys, Bryce Remsburg, I believe. Right. I mean, those are two of them. I just don't know which one fits which role, but that who I'm going to put in those categories. I don't really have any. I don't notice her, but we've watched so much WWE in the past that we've been conditioned to not pay any attention to referees or ring announcers or commentators. It all just becomes a collection of like background noises.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess they're saying no DQ. I mean, she's just an animated girl. I just have no problem with it. It really, she doesn't take me out of matches. It doesn't bother me. And you're right. We have been kind of conditioned or trained to just kind of just not even give a shit about the referee, notice the referee or anything. And truthfully, sometimes I'll see those, like, you know, those little videos that come out of her reacting, and I'm like, didn't even catch it till y'all fucking showed me. Didn't even fucking catch it.
Yeah, I think it's like maybe just a cultural thing, because there's like wrestlers but referees in other countries that are like kind of famous. Like New Japan has red shoes. Everybody loves red shoes. And fucking AAA for whatever reason, like they straight up have referees that are just straight up corrupt. So like they get involved in matches and they cheat for people, and kind of the Nick Patrick role that he used to be in WCW. So it's just kind of, I don't know, it's a philosophy. It's a bigger deal to some people than it is to others. I don't really notice or care, honestly.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. And I mean, you know, Sean's saying he's oblivious to the referees too, but noticing her, I'm telling you, you're noticing her because they keep showing her doing things that you probably didn't even notice before. You probably didn't. And a lot of times, a lot of that stuff is on AEW Rampage or AEW Dark. It's just, people are making way too much out of her, but I don't know. I see no problem with it. I think she looks like a fun chick. I have no problem with her being animated, her having a good time out there. Yeah, I'm not sure who needs to hear this, but you know you're supposed to enjoy your job, especially when it's probably your fucking dream job.
Yeah, girls just want to have fun. I get what you're saying.
Well, there's that.
Hmm?
Why isn't she in the Hall of Fame now that Jim Ross is gone from WWE? Why has Cyndi Lauper not been snuck in there?
You know, that's a very good question. I can't answer that for you, though.
And for the life of me, why will no one ask JR what his big fucking problem is with Cyndi fucking Lauper?
I mean, there's just some things that you don't ask. You know, you don't ask a woman their weight or their age. You don't ask Jim Ross what his problem with Cyndi Lauper is.
I don't know. It's got to be something, because like I said, he tore her apart. All right, Sean says Cyndi Lauper doesn't want to be a part of it. I don't know about that, man. I don't know. I think she might want to be.
I mean, she doesn't have much going on at the moment. Last time I seen her, she was on like some commercial for like skincare products or some shit.
Was it skincare, or was it some sort of like? I think she does like one of those like Jamie Lee Curtis Infamil commercials or something.
Yeah, I don't know. It was about for like a skin case. She didn't have like any actual like illnesses.
That might have been what it was for. No, I've seen her on one of those commercials too, and I got no fucking clue what it is. But all right, I guess Cyndi doesn't want to be in it. That's weird. Oh, Jim Cornette said it? Jim Cornette said it. I'm not sure. Not sure I can believe that.
That's what it was for.
What?
It's Cyndi Lauper in those commercials. She has commercials for psoriasis.
Okay.
Cosmetics.
That's what it is. Okay, you're right. Skincare. You were right.
Yeah, I knew it was some kind of dermatological problem.
Man, all kinds of Jim Ross stuff going on tonight. Just need to figure out why the poor guy doesn't like her. I really want to know. I really think this is something we need to dig into. His hatred for Cyndi Lauper. I don't get it.
Does Conrad never probed him for this information?
Oh, well. I guess not. Fucking Conrad. Conman Conrad's back again. Dude, I'm sorry. This whole Ric Flair thing is all Conrad. I'm sorry. I think he's using the guy to get his little to get his little show, more people to come to it. He's using a fucking damn near 80-year-old man.
Do you think Paul Heyman ever gets mad that he's like doing his gimmick but better than him? And then, like, in real life.
Maybe, I don't know. That's awful, man. That really is awful.
See, Sean saying that she was friends with Lou Albano, and now that Lou Albano is gone, she doesn't want anything to do with wrestling. She's trying to distance herself from that. That's what it is. That's what he was saying. Yeah, he says he remembers.
Okay, that makes sense. And she was very, very, very good friends with Lou Albano. Matter of fact, Captain Lou Albano was in that Girls Just Want to Have Fun video. And, all right, I can see that. I can see her not wanting to have anything to do with wrestling, but she was a big part of it. Surprised they just haven't thrown her in the fucking, Legends wing just to piss off somebody.
I mean, the day is still young, I suppose.
Anything can happen is what you're saying. Okay, I get you.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So apparently there's a really bad video of shitty acting, I guess Sean said. Conrad is the biggest con artist there is. Did you guys see that stupid video? It was horrible acting. The jumping of Flair. I guess they shot an angle of Ric Flair getting jumped. What was even better was Jeff Jarrett and Conrad on the podcast today were selling the whole angle and then tried to make it the real whole show then on Ric Flair. Ric Flair was acting like, nope, it's all bullshit. Ric Flair is not even taking it serious. So apparently they were trying to do a work and Ric Flair was just no selling it.
I know I might be being a little snowflake-ish, but this is at some point, this is elder abuse. I'm sorry. I mean, look, I don't need to see Ric Flair back in the ring, especially with a pacemaker. Thank God they made that match a tag team match. Matter of fact, it's going to be Ric Flair and his son-in-law, Andre El Idolo, versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. Not bad, I guess. Thank God like I said, thank God it's a fucking tag match. Hopefully Flair's not going to do much, not going to take many bumps. I agree with Sean. It's mainly going to be Jay Lethal versus Andrade most of the match. I just don't see how much Flair is going to do. I don't know, man. But I mean, there are a few good matches on that card,
Mm-hmm.
There's a few. We got Killer Cross with Scarlett versus Harry Smith. Let's see. We've got the Wolves, Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards versus the Motor City Machine Guns. My God, we're going right back to Impact. That is definitely an Impact match.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the Von Erichs versus the Briscoes. That's going to be a good fucking match. Clark Connors versus Ren Narita. Ray Phoenix and Taurus versus Laredo Kid and Bandito. Rachel Ellering versus Deonna Purrazzo and Jordan. I don't know when to get my foot out of my mouth. Grace. Kerry and Ricky Morton with Robert Gibson. Yeah, buddy. Versus Brian Pillman Jr. and Brock Henderson. Josh Alexander versus Jacob Fatu. And there's going to be a bunkhouse battle royal, baby.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. So let's see. We've got this video here. No one attacks Ric Flair and gets away with it here. I see it. Hold on. Sean just sent it to me. Hold on. Is it worth playing? Let me get it. Let me get it pulled up here.
Well, as you look at that, I have to say that I am incredibly impressed with Jeff Jarrett's ability to make money. I don't care about in-ring stuff. Jeff Jarrett is the best worker of all time because that motherfucker knows how to get paid. He was on the GCW pay-per-view earlier this year. He's going to be on this Ric Flair retirement show thing that's probably not his last match, but it's just a way to get a lot of money.
Yeah.
And he's going to be refereeing a match at SummerSlam. Like, this motherfucker is a genius at making money.
He's got something going for him, so... All right, here. Let's go ahead. Here we go. Okay, I've got the video. I don't know what it is. I'm playing it. Oh, the last match.
All right.
Oh, this is 5 minutes long.
Hey, there he is. Hey. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Great press conference. Hey, you even had the mayor's office out here, and I couldn't even get an invite? I had to fly myself out here? You really gonna make me? Hey, what? No, shut up. On a serious note, I can't tell you how badly I feel used. You used me. All this time you used me. I just wanted a little bit, a little nugget. I couldn't even get on the show. That's disrespectful, and you know it. Could you put yourself in my shoes? Don't turn around.
Don't touch me again.
You see, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
I talked down little guys like you.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right. You know what?
Yeah.
About time this happens. Oh God! That's my surgery.
Hey, come on.
Hey, with all due respect, Crockett, this has nothing to do with you. He's had this.
No. Hey. Yeah. Somebody. Come on. Hey.
Get the hell off me!
Jay,
Get your hands
Jay,
off me!
Wait.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Jay.
We've got Jeff Jarrett in the parking lot. We've got it. Oh, that's right in my surgery. You're going to be saying that a lot more.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree that the acting was not exactly Citizen Kane-esque.
Citizen Kane-esque, huh?
It's a bit short of Casablanca.
I'll go with you there. I think you're right. I mean, it's not bad, but I don't know. You want to keep playing it or no?
I mean, sure, why not?
Oh, okay.
Rick, just calm down. You see? I said f off, Jared. Tired of you and your old man. Rick, stop. David.
Hey. Wait a minute. Come on. Jay, stop.
God, Rick, get up, please. He deserves this. Every second of it. Every second of it.
Jay, you have a right to be upset. Stop.
And Karen gets her name out there too. See this? She's in it too now.
Taking that paper.
All of them, man. All of them out there doing it. All right. Yes, Dirk. Jay Lethal tried. He did. He did his best.
But yeah, the best heel on this video is somebody who is just not accustomed to playing heel.
I know. Meanwhile, you're right. He is a great heel. Jay Lethal.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. All right. Anyway. Anywho.
Yeah, I think that's kind of my takeaway from this. Is just I'm all about anything that gets Jeff Jarrett more money. I'm not even that big of a. I'm not like that big of a fan of the guy as a wrestler. I appreciate his hustle.
You have to, man. He's out there trying to do what he can. Let's see. Sean says on the podcast, Ric Flair talked about how he wasn't going to dig himself, or I think he meant gig. He didn't want to bleed until the match, and they hit him. Tell me this man is not going to bleed. Please don't let this man gut himself.
Jeez, hit him with Aaron's shoes. He was bleeding the hard way.
He's probably on blood thinners. I don't want to see this. I don't want to fucking see this. I really don't, dude. I'm not going to watch it. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to see it. I don't.
I think Sean just inadvertently made this a lot better because he said this is like a bad Spanish soap opera, and that would be amazing if that was Andrade's part in all of this. He was just like acting like he was in a telenovela, like he had like a buttoned-up shirt on that was all unbuttoned except for like the bottom one, and he just had like he kept like playing with his hair the entire time. There was like fucking music playing behind him every time he said something.
That would be great. I would love that. See, Dirk, he's probably on blood thinners. I agree. The guy probably is on blood thinners. He should not be doing this match. I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm sorry. I might sound snowflakey. I apologize. I'm worried for Ric Flair. I am sorry, and I apologize for worrying about this man. I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't know. Worst case scenario, like Conrad gets outed as like the con man that he is if something bad happens. And then best case scenario, everything goes off without a hitch and nobody gets hurt. So, like, either way, both outcomes are potentially positive from my outlook.
Well, I mean, if something happens, Conrad probably had this guy sign so many goddamn waivers. No way he'd be responsible.
He's got like the fucking Lloyd's of London insurance policy on him.
Yeah. Dirk is
Who is
saying-
that? That was fucking like Rick Rude that had that done. He took out a Lloyd's of London policy.
I might need to, man. I don't know. Something. But Dirk's saying Soup agrees with me on that, too. I haven't listened to them in a while, but I wouldn't doubt it. And I know, I mean, Don Tony defends the shit out of Conrad, but...
Maybe that's the true main event in all of this. Is like when Ric Flair's last match, and then he like sort of goes out Randy the Ram style, and then you have a match between fucking Conrad and Feinstein on who can make more money off of his corpse.
Ooh, hide your kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, like he's like out in the ring and he's all just sprawled out, and like Feinstein's grabbing his arm and using it to like sign autographs that he's hawking on Facebook.
Yeah, you know, as far-fetched as it sounds, it could happen. But anywho, Sean, I agree with him. I think Conrad is a fucking con man. I've called him. We even named a show Conman or Conrad, Conman Conrad. I think the guy is a complete con man. I can't believe people haven't caught on yet. I cannot believe people have not got this guy figured out. I think he is just transparent as hell what he's doing. I have said before, I do respect the guy's hustle, but I really just don't. I think the guy's slime. Mm-hmm. If I'm being nice, I think the guy's fucking slime.
I mean, yes, both things are true. He's good at what he does, but what he does adds absolutely nothing of value to society in any tangible way.
Listen, there's some fucking criminals out there that are really good at their fucking job, but that doesn't, make them good people. There's fucking hitmen that are great at their job, but that doesn't make them good people. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
Hey, I mean, look, I'm sure there's a hitman out there that's just out there hustling every day, But I wouldn't want to do business with the guy just because he's out there hustling is all I'm saying. I don't know. I see some people defend him, and I just don't get how you can do it, but I don't know.
Would defend him ... for free ? I mean, don't get it twisted. If you're listening right now, opinions change often, and people can be influenced. But I can't fathom anybody coming to his defenses for free. But then again, I've also seen any number of shows, wrestling shows, where like motherfuckers will hold up signs of people from like Busted Open or whatever. And I think I've seen one or two Save with Conrad signs, which if you're bringing a fucking Conrad Thompson sign to a wrestling show and you're not being paid for it, just, my goodness, like just fucking get in the nosebleed seats and hang out for a while.
Well,
and I might be literal in my usage.
I understand where you're going. I think if you have a Conrad sign, you probably have a replica belt. And still live,
Yes.
and you live in your mother's basement. That's probably where you're at right now. If you're listening, I'm sorry. Anyone listening in their mother's basement, it's cool. I wish I had a basement here, somewhere to do the show.
Basements are pretty cool.
I know. I only one state I've ever lived in had basements. That was Boston. And I only lived there till I was 6, so I don't know.
My uncle lives in Indiana. He has a basement in his house. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, no basements here. No basements here. There's definitely no basements in Florida. Didn't have basements in North Carolina. No basements. Sucks. No basements around here. But anyway, I just think that it's going to be the main event match itself. I think is going to be just fluff and blah. But Ric Flair will go in there, do one or two things. Hopefully, everything ends up okay. And I'm not. I'll listen and see what happened in that match, but I'm really not going to watch it. I mean, it's just not worth my time. But anyway, I didn't want to sit here and spend damn near an hour talking about this Ric Flair thing and how much of a con man Conrad is. I think we all know by now.
Yeah, we got to kind of pace ourselves because we have a lot of people we want to make fun of tonight. So,
yes, there's so much to get into.
And by I just mean me. Like, that was half of the articles I sent to you were like, look at this motherfucker.
I know. And I really don't have that much. Actually, some of our stuff just kind of ties right in together. So that's not going to be too tough. I get, what should we just kind of roll into from there? Let's see here. I guess we can talk about, all right. You know what? I guess, I mean, we've got a few things here to get into about Vince McMahon, and my story ties right into your story, Smark. So we'll just kind of do them both together here.
All right.
Vince McMahon. We all know he's been in the news and a few things going on around there. So there was a documentary for Netflix we had talked about a while back, Smark. You remember this?
I absolutely remember this because I was beyond hyped for how fucking untrue and just hyperbolic it was going to be. It was going to be wonderful.
Yeah, I think it's so untrue and hyperbolic and probably revisionist history that they just decided to cancel it. They pulled the whole thing. It's not even on the spreadsheet anymore for Netflix. It's not on the upcoming. And it's not good. It's not good at all. I'm wondering why it got pulled. We literally just talked about this in November. That's when Dave Meltzer reported this. November 2020 is when we were back talking about this. And they said, Vince was all in on this and blah, blah, blah. And I got a feeling he wasn't very in on this, but definitely not something I expected. I just expected it to be a fluff piece. I think both of us used that word when we talked about it. So that one, though, for Netflix so far has been completely canceled. And I mean, I can't really blame the person. I mean, what do you do now? You're going to have to add another fucking 3 hours to it.
Yeah. Like, season 2 will have to be called The Truth. Where it's just like the first season is just dead, or I guess the first film is just an entire fluff piece. And then the rest of it is like, all right, well, here's what actually happened in this entire story that we've been telling you.
So it'd be like Young Guns 1 and then the true story, Young Guns 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because Young Guns 2 is more of the actual Billy the Kid story than Young Guns 1 is.
I have the link for it. Apparently, Titus O'Neil cut a rather interesting promo. But in relation
I heard about that.
Yeah, I was looking forward to the Netflix documentary because you were saying WWE was supposed to be involved in it. Vince McMahon was supposed to have a big hand in it. And it seemed like it was just going to be just the ultimate, unrealistic, complete lies and fabrication, revisionist history. And it was just going to be I was going to absolutely watch it, but I was going to watch it just for fun, for a good laugh. Unfortunately, that's not going to be happening now. So it's a bit of a bummer.
I guess a little bit of a bummer because you've got other news.
There's going to be a documentary of sorts on Vince McMahon, I guess, because the world of WWE head Vince McMahon will once again be covered by HBO's Real Sports with Brian Gumbel. How about that? As reported by PW Insider Saturday and discussed on Monday on McMahon's Wrestling Observer. I want to hear that show. On Monday's Wrestling Observer Radio, the long-running sports journalism show will cover the current I don't know why I can't say that word. So anyways, they're going to be covering Vince McMahon's issues, given the multiple allegations against him and of various hush funds to former female employees, covered in full by the Wall Street Journal. In their report, PW Insider reported HBO has been attempting to reach out to former female employees of the company. It is unknown when the piece is being targeted for. The show airs monthly, year-round. It's not the first time WWE McMahon and the pro wrestling industry has been featured on Real Sports. The most notable feature was in June 2003, when Armin Katayan discussed a focused piece on the then growing amount of early deaths in pro wrestling. Roddy Piper was prominently featured, essentially forecasting his own passing in addition to McMahon himself. In the infamous outburst from the piece, McMahon bristled at the notion he had anything to do with the aforementioned deaths due to drug use and other factors, slapping Katayan's papers in an angered outburst. That was a very famous clip of him just fucking slapping the papers onto the guy's hand.
I remember that. I do remember that. I remember him almost killing Bob Costas too.
Mm-hmm.
But Vince is not very good with wrestling journalists, or sports journalists as they call themselves. So all right, it looks like we're gonna get some sort of fluff piece on Vince that we I mean, what else are you gonna call these?
This is exactly going to be a fluff piece. I feel like this might be a little bit closer to the truth. I think, but I actually, in a sense, kind of don't like blame Vince for just being really fucking shitty at PR when it comes to dealing with sports journalists.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you think about it, like, he usually has to deal with Meltzer. Like, he doesn't have to deal with actual journalists all that often. So, like, fucking dealing with Meltzer versus dealing with, like, Bob Costas is like dealing with a fucking romance novelist and then having to deal with, like, Ernest Hemingway. Like, it's just two different ball games.
Oh yeah, it is. But I just think this is gonna just be a fucking fluff piece again. We're gonna hear how great McMahon is and how he revolutionized the business, and nowhere in there you're gonna hear any bullshit that they don't want to put in.
I disagree entirely. If it's real sports, they're going to be honest about it. I think they're going to do a lot of discussion about all the sex allegations and the hush money and all that kind of shit. Real sports in general, like, I can't speak to the quality of the piece yet because it hasn't aired, and I don't know if it's even necessarily been completely made yet, but they usually do a really good job. They talk about, like, concussions and CTE in the NFL and shit and all kinds of different, issues around the sports world. They're usually pretty level in their journalism. They actually do, like, real work. It's not like fucking ESPN where they just talk about bullshit all day.
I guess we will just have to wait and find out, sir. The only way we can do it. But yeah, so some way, somehow, we're going to get some sort of story about Vince McMahon. Another one, I'm always curious to see how they what light they show him in. So I'm always curious to see these little pieces they do on Vince. So I guess we'll see what's going to happen with that bad boy when it comes out. And let's see. Like I said, I don't really have too much. Like I said, I was so out of everything. And it took me 3 fucking days to recover from vacation. I told you, I'm getting too old for this shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
This whole driving and vacation. But, I mean, since we had just mentioned the Titus O'Neil thing, I guess we can go ahead and talk a little bit about Raw. A report came out the other day, Smark, that Raw was going to be possibly moving to 2000 to TV 14 rating again. So people are losing their minds. The PG era is over. Blah 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 blah. No. Let's not lose our minds because of stockholders, because of investors, because of sponsors. Because of being a publicly traded company, the first time they do something and one sponsor goes up there and complains, they're going to back down. One fucking advocate group goes out and does something, they're going to back down. Trust me. You're not going to see anything crazy. They may curse a little. You might get to see a little bit of blood. Now, see, Sean, it wasn't a completely false report. They said the report went out a little too early, is what I had heard. Because truthfully, as of right now, if you go on Peacock, SummerSlam right now does have a TV-14 rating. Right now, it does. What does that mean? I don't think very much. So, Smark, I'll just ask you the main question, I guess. And do you really think them going TV-14 would make a difference?
Yes, but like not in terms of actual quality of product. I think it'll help boost their ratings because you're going to get people that are going to think things are going to change, to be different. And it's probably just going to be the same thing that it always is. It's just occasionally somebody will say the word shit or ass, but you will still get people tuning in because they think the Attitude Era is coming on back.
All right, so you're going to get the initial boost, which they always love, but folks, we're not getting bra and panties matches back. No, it's not going to happen. And I know you can sit there and go, all these bad shows that are on cable, late night television, they've all got sponsors. Yeah, I know, but look what stations they're on. They're on actual cable stations like Comedy Central and shit like that. But I don't think you're going to get anything too different than what we've gotten before. I mean, you can hear him say ass and shit right now on Raw every now and then. I just don't think we're going to get anything different. I think it's going to be the same shit. And I think everyone losing their mind thinking the old PG era is dead. No, it's not. No, it's not. And I definitely get what you're saying, Sean. I agree with that. It should be after 10 Eastern. It should get a little more raunchy. That's when we used to get, Raw is War back then. And, well, yeah, because it came on an hour later.
Yeah, there was Raw's War and there was Warzone.
Right.
They were two separate hours, but they branded them differently. That's a good point that he makes, though, because he was saying that things aren't going to get that much more risky, or risque, if you will, with Vince and all of his allegations going on right now. So probably not going to get anything too racy or provocative in that front. Like you were saying, don't expect the return of bra and panties matches.
Or maybe Vince wants to go out there and start tonguing divas again.
Perhaps.
Hey, you never know. You never know with Vince McMahon what's going to happen. So,
hush money in the bank.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know, man. I just don't think it's going to make a huge difference. I think it may make a quick, like you said, just kind of a quick ratings bump. People are going to expect something to change, and I just don't think you're going to get much more edgy of a program. Jesus Christ, this company won't even say a bloodbath. It's a brood bath. This company they wouldn't even use the word COVID for a year while it was happening.
Yes, while multiple people on their roster were not on television because they had these times disease.
I mean, it took Drew McIntyre finally getting COVID while he was champion for them to acknowledge that it was existing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that this is all I don't know. Like I said, I heard the little memo got leaked and it was put out early anyway. And I don't know. I don't think we're going to get anything big because of it. I guess we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens, I guess, at SummerSlam. But even then, y'all got to remember, SummerSlam is a pay-per-view or whatever, a special event, whatever you want to fucking call it now.
Premium live event, I think is.
Yeah. what the fuck ever that means. So they always get a little more risque, as Smark said, on their premium live event. Can't even say that with a straight face.
Mm-hmm.
They've always gotten a little more risky on those. They do a little more because they can. And don't let that surprise you, but I'm telling you, you're not going to get bra and panties matches. You're not going to get these crazy storylines. I think the most you might get is a curse word here and there, possibly some blood. Excuse me. But that's about it. Excuse me again.
Yeah, I mean, my problem it wasn't edgy enough or provocative enough. It was just a total and complete lack of imagination in terms of creative, and just the same matches being repeated ad nauseum. And I kind of am planning tentatively to watch SummerSlam, but even that, it's going to be main evented by Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for like the 800th time. It's like part and parcel of what I'm talking about. It's the same fucking matches over and over and over and over and over again. SummerSlam is going to be interesting, though, because they're doing it in Nashville from Nissan Stadium. I've been there a couple of times. It's a real nice stadium. It's an outdoor stadium. So that's going to be interesting because it's going to be in Tennessee, outdoor stadium in August, fucking peak summer. So it's going to present a lot of interesting challenges that I don't know if they have necessarily accounted for. There's a potential because it rains almost all the time here. Sometimes, depending on what week it is. Sometimes we won't get it for 2 or 3 weeks. Sometimes we'll get it for a fucking week straight. And if it's not raining, it's 98 degrees with a fucking heat index of 107. So pick your poison on that. That's going to present some interesting challenges, I think.
Yeah, exactly. That is going to be interesting because it's going to be fucking hot, like you just said. But you know what? Sean sent me the Titus O'Neil thing. I guess since we're kind of, it was odd timing with that thing going out and everything going on. What's going on, Chris? That Titus O'Neil came out and made this little PSA or speech, and I love. He sent me 2 copies. Sean did. One of them is the thing, the little promo he did, and the second one is Raw's edited version. That their headline is Titus O'Neil is proud to be a WWE Global Ambassador. Awesome. I'm sure he is, but did you need to tell us? All right, let's hear a little bit of this. Let me get this going here on the old YouTube. Let me see if there's any ads. Come on. Come on. I literally could not get closer to the fucking modem. Don't you love internet?
Mm-hmm. Technology is indeed wonderful.
Yes, it is. All right, here we go.
Titus O'Neil!
All right, here it comes. Coming down. All right, this is 4 minutes. We won't go through all of it.
When I came to WWE and became a WWE Tag Team Champion and entered the WWE Hall of Fame as a Warrior Award recipient, I thought that I had reached the height of my personal achievements. But unbeknownst to me, that one day I would reach the pinnacle of my success by becoming your WWE Global Ambassador. You see, I get a chance to represent WWE all over the world in something that I feel that we need now more than ever all over the world, which is goodwill. And there is no question that each and every one of us do everything we can to put smiles on all of your faces, both inside and outside of the ring, whether it's helping those less fortunate or supporting our servicemen and women all over the globe.
All right. So basically, he says WWE is a safe space. We don't talk politics. We don't talk this. We don't talk that. I guess they've forgotten all the politics they've talked over the years. The fact that, you know.
I just love. Well, yeah, they're not here to talk about politics. They're here to put smiles on people's faces. Like, do you think he's dying on the inside at all while he just says all this shit that they force him to say?
No, he's just picking up his check.
Oh, okay.
You know what?
A lot
Though,
can be done.
I have said that I think he's a great, and I've called him the same thing, an ambassador for the company, and I think he's really good. I really do. He's a personable guy. Everyone seems to love him. He represents the company great. You hear nothing of scandals with him or that he's an asshole backstage. I prefer him doing whatever he's doing to seeing him in the ring at all. So good on you, Titus O'Neil. I don't know what else to say on that.
Well, there you go, I guess.
There you go. There you go. But it was odd timing, that little, whatever you want to call it, speech, PSA, reminder, whatever. I don't know what you want to call that. But the timing of it was very odd. Because you had some people saying, oh, it was because Vince had more, they found more money, which they did. So far, it's what, 12 million they've found that he's been given away. I told y'all, Jerry McDivitt's just out there cutting fucking deals. He's just out there cutting deals. Wheeling and dealing. Wheeling, dealing McDivitt. He's just out there getting it done, baby.
Gotta love it.
Shit. And yeah, like I said, they did find more, they found more of that money with, and I hear some pretty ridiculous takes, on what's going on. And some people are like, well, you know, there's a lot of people out there that are thinking that it's this person and that person from 2005 that was let go. Why won't she just get on the internet and tell people that it's not her? Well, that would break an NDA. Not one of these women have broken the NDA yet. I don't know if anyone realizes this. I think they do. A lot of people do understand this. They're finding the money. The women are not talking. They're finding payments that shouldn't be there. That's how, but these women are not breaking NDAs or talking. I got a feeling if they started, we'd have a lot more payouts that we don't know about yet.
I mean, if they were involved and they were the person from these reports or whatever, why would they want to come out and say that? Like, you're just opening yourself up to being feasted upon by the internet.
I mean, and if you weren't, why would you want to come out and say that? Why would you even dignify it? I'm with you, dude. I wouldn't even dignify it. And again, if it was you, don't break the NDA. Again, not one woman has broken NDA yet. Not yet. So they just keep finding payment, and they're going to keep doing it. Getting audited is not fun, dude. Especially when you're a $1 billion company. I don't know who's leaking this stuff to the board, because this was, but I don't know. Maybe his name rhymes with Shaman.
What if there's all the shit like MLW was talking about? And they're just like, we're warning you, don't flex on us.
Yeah, we told you. Maybe, you know what? Maybe it's, maybe Kevin Dunn is. He sees Vince go and he knows Stephanie hates him. He's like, fuck it, I might as well bust them all. I don't really think he would do that. I think that guy is too much of a loyalist.
Getting bite marks.
What?
I said, why do all these random anonymous reports we keep getting? Why do they all have bite marks on the paper?
They all look like.
Oh my god! I just got like the mental image of like Kevin Dunn presenting video evidence, and like you just can't see anything because the camera keeps fucking shaking.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like Christopher Kane says, the women talk to their friends and then the friends talk to the press.
Oh, that happens. But see, and even that is breaking an NDA. You're not supposed to tell your friends what happened, not with a non-disclosure agreement. You're supposed to shut the fuck up and not say a word. Say nothing. It never happened. Forget it happened. So that would still technically be breaking an NDA. But I don't know. You have to prove all that shit, so it's not that easy at all. But all right, what else do we? Oh shit! I went through all my news. Luckily, you've got some though.
Yes, indeed. Speaking of potential legalities, a longtime friend of the show, Michael Elgin, has found himself in hot water. Michael Elgin has reportedly been arrested in Japan. Cassidy Haynes of BodySlam.net reported that Elgin was arrested last weekend in Japan for stealing, get ready for this, protein powder and has remained in jail since. The report noted that Elgin could face up to 5 years in jail. Elgin was on tour with Pro Wrestling Noah, where he was one half of the GHC Tag Team Champions. On July 9th, Noah announced that Elgin would be unable to compete in the upcoming card. On July 12th, they announced that Elgin would miss the Buckenden Hall event for July 16th, and the titles were vacated as a result. Timothy Thatcher, that's what happened to him, and Hideki Suzuki ended up winning the titles, defeating Kitama and Yoshaki. I'm sure that's how you pronounce their names. Got it right first time every time. Prior to returning to Noah in April, Elgin had only wrestled sporadically since 2020. I wonder why that is. Following speaking out allegations made against him. He was previously worked for Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and Impact Wrestling before his career nosedived. That's not in the article. That's just an editorial comment.
No. And allegations is a little tough to use for him. There were texts published that were
less allegations, more so proof.
Yeah, this guy's basically a piece of shit. No wonder he was the GHB tag team or GHC tag team champions.
Champion too.
Now I did read he's already back in the States. Somehow he was let go from this. I don't know if maybe
I can
what? Go ahead, please.
I can explain that. You see, in jail cells they have metal bars. And you were of a certain stature, you could just kind of slip right on through them.
He just snuck out. I got you.
Yes, he is so small that he can get through the bars. It's a joke there. Anyways, go ahead.
You'd figure they would make him smaller in Japan.
You would think so, yes.
That was awful. That was so bad of me.
I went along with it.
I understand. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Oh my God. I'm really trying to think of something creative, something good to say, but all I can say is this guy is just a fucking piece of junk, a piece of garbage, a piece of shit. My God, he's a piece of Conrad. Let's put it that way. I just think that, this was stupid. What is he stealing protein powder for? What are you doing? What are you doing? Mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. And I don't know, maybe he put it in his... Yeah, did he put it in his pocket while he was walking around the store? Did he put it in his backpack? He put it down his pants when he was walking through. What did he do? Is there any more information on this? Is what I need to know.
Well, I think he was sort of easy to spot because they saw him like using a stepladder to climb to the middle shelf of the store.
Again, you'd think they would have stuff on lower shelves around there.
Well, you put things on the top shelf, but Elgin's not getting to.
Neither are most Japanese, is what I'm saying, Smart.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to be a little bit more like compressed with who I'm making fun of. You're going after an entire nation of people. I appreciate the the sort of ingenuity of that, but
look, I'm not saying anything here that's hasn't been proven by facts. Neither are you. Elgin is small. He probably did need a stepladder to get to the second shelf. But okay. There is a lot of things you could steal. But first of all, why would you steal in Japan? Because they are another country known for having lots of surveillance, like we are. We have tons of surveillance too. We have all kinds of cams everywhere. But they're not as lenient on crimes as we are in America. They're actually pretty strict when it comes to even stealing over there. So why would you do this at all? And how is he already on his way back? I don't know. Maybe they
because Japan does not want him.
Just fucking hang. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to the public execution of Michael Elgin, but I feel like that might be a little much.
I mean, the punishment may not fit the crime, but I have never actually wished death on someone. I apologize. I have never done that. But this guy is just stupid, and I'm sorry. He's just a piece of garbage. He treats women like shit. As we've seen, read more than one time have we read comments from this guy, by the way, Smart. So
I just like the idea of him hung and his feet are like dangling 1 foot off the ground. do they make like devices like that for children? Because you're gonna have to use that on them.
Oh, just get a shorter piece of rope.
He's got a fucking SpongeBob is on his rope, like how they have like little cartoons and kids band-aids.
They just use one of SpongeBob's legs.
Yep.
Oh, shit. Oh, all right. I can't believe I said that, and the fact that we actually kept going with it. I don't know. I really have nothing to say on this. It's baffling why anyone would do this, what he was thinking, but whatever you got.
Yeah, Noah. I kind of want to check out Noah a little bit because they have a lot of interesting people. Maybe not on their roster full time, but I saw a clip of Rob Van Dam was at one of their shows recently, and he was like putting in work. He looked good.
Well, when you're banging those two women, you would look good too. My dog is having a doggy dream behind me, in case you can't hear.
Ah.
I probably should wake him up.
I have to do it now. It's the only natural segue that we can make. Speaking of incredibly short people, Adam Cole will not be having surgery to repair a torn labrum. Cole has been out of action, rather. He's not been working. Cole has been out of action since the AEW and New Japan Forbidden Door with a concussion, but had also been working with a shoulder injury. According to a report from Fightful, he has been dealing with a torn labrum since his title program with Hangman Page back in March and April. Dave Meltzer reported in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that Cole is doing therapy for the injury. His time frame for return is more based on the concussion he suffered at Forbidden Door, however. Quote, Cole is opting, to not have surgery. I'm reading as Meltzer would talk. Cole is opting to not have surgery on his torn labrum. He's doing therapy for it. The time frame for his return is based more on the recovery from his concussion. We are told he is faring better in that regard. I like how they basically just repeated what they said in the previous paragraph. Following Double or Nothing in May, AEW announced that Cole was injured and removed from the 10-man tag team match scheduled for that week's Dynamite. He wouldn't wrestle again until Forbidden Door.
Well, okay. I mean, that sucks that he got the concussion, but I think we all saw that and knew it was kind of we saw when it happened and what happened, and kind of guessed he was going to at least have a concussion from that. And hopefully he can not have surgery and recover. A lot of people are trying to do therapy instead of go for the surgery, and because a lot of people are finding out the surgeries, man, you can be worse off after the surgeries. Yeah, man, people I've talked to that, I mean, that because my knee is horrible and I'll mention it, they're like, don't get the surgery, it's worse after.
It can be, for sure.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. Hopefully he's back sooner than later, though.
Indeed.
I got nothing.
All right, so we have one story that's AEW related. We're going to save that and transition into AEW shortly. We do talk about sometimes some things that are real downers. Talk about death. We talk about sexual assault allegations and suicide and all kinds of manner of dark things. And unfortunately, it's in the news, so we got to talk about it. Let's just do our best to get this over with.
I know.
It's one of the sadder things that we've ever had to talk about. This is from The Observer. Though she hasn't wrestled since her AEW departure, Brandi Rhodes' in-ring career isn't over. Oh boy. Whilst to muscle and fitness for a profile on how she stays fit through motherhood. So inspirational. Brandi confirmed that she plans on wrestling again. Brandi said when and where she makes her return remains to be seen, but she hopes everyone is happy and proud when the return happens. I just want to read that again for emphasis. Quote, I'm still training all of the time, Brandi said. People can connect the dots and make of that what they will. I will tell you, I wouldn't be training and getting beat up, laughs, just for the hell of it. So obviously I do plan to continue my in-ring career. When and where? That has yet to be seen, but I hope when it does happen, everybody is happy and proud. Muscle Fitness noted that Brandi is a regular at the Nightmare Factory training school. Who'da thunk? Last week, Brandi posted a video of herself working out at the school. Brandi and Cody Rhodes announced that in February, they were leaving AEW in addition to being a wrestler and on-screen performer for the company. I feel like both of those should have been in air quotes, but they were not. Brandi was chief brand officer of AEW. Cody made his return to WWE at WrestleMania. We all know that happened. It was announced in March that Brandi and DIGA Studios were partnering together in an attempt to bring Brandi's Shot of Brandi YouTube series to a television channel or a streaming platform. Dear Jesus, God help us. Christopher Kane just wrote, "Oh no." It's really that's nasty.
And by the way, she was the chief Brandi officer.
Yeah, I forgot.
Not brand officer. Well, the good thing is, now that you've read this story and I know she is continuing her in-ring career, I can now sleep well at night. That has been on my mind for ages. Tonight might be the first night I get a good night's sleep knowing she is going to be back in the ring. I don't know about you, Smark, but wow. Weight off my shoulders. Feel better. About you?
I mean, it's kind of like when Danny Bryan came back.
Ooh. I don't know. This seems bigger.
Well, yeah, I mean, he only had, like a potentially life-threatening injury. She is a mother, Boxman. A mother and a workout guru and a television host, apparently.
Yes. So, yeah, I mean, this is This is Andre Hogan. This is Macho Man, Steamboat. This is.
Let's think in for a minute. You were just so overwhelmed with emotion that you were literally speechless at the implication of the return of Brandi. Like, it's basically the Beatles on Ed Sullivan. It hasn't been a bigger return since the Elvis Conrad special.
It's
Elvis.
Elvis on Ed Sullivan.
Mm-hmm.
The Beatles. It's so huge. I can't even imagine. But once again, I do think I'll be able to sleep tonight now, knowing in my mind and in my heart that she is going to be back in the ring. Definitely. Good night's sleep. Like I said, weight lifted off the shoulders. I feel like that, the elephant in the room has now been addressed, and we can move on with our lives now, Smark. I hope you feel the same way.
Mm-hmm. I mean, do you really need Sasha Banks when you have Brandi Rhodes?
Dude. I mean, I don't even need Al Pacino in my life because I now know Brandi Rhodes is, if Pacino never does another movie, I'm fine knowing Brandi is getting back in the ring. If, William Dafoe never does another movie, I'll be okay because Brandi is getting back in the ring. If The Rock never does another movie, all right. Well, I mean, if The Rock never does a movie, I'll be fine. But anyway, you see where I'm going with this.
But apparently, yes. Apparently, the long anticipated return is on the horizon, and shopping her YouTube show to actual television companies.
So excited.
That is true courage.
I am so excited.
Somewhere out there, somebody is going to have to watch her YouTube channel as part of their job.
God, I hope you get paid well.
Yep.
Anyway, good for her, I guess.
Well, good for us all. Good for humanity.
Good for everybody. Listen, this girl was being told to shut the fuck up on national television. I really don't think it's going to change. But I've been wrong before. So, Smark, if you have nothing else, I guess we can roll on, my man.
Yeah, pretty much. I will say it always makes me laugh that stable she was in, the Nightmare Collective, bombed so fucking hard. And their initial reaction was, well, the one thing that's not working out about this is Awesome Kong. It's like, yeah, no, that's the only thing good about this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And they're like, oh, well, let's put Brandi out there more. Yeah, great idea. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Had to retire early because she fucking held that stable up. Had back problems from fucking trying to carry Brandi through a good promo.
Well,
anyways, speaking of people who don't have back problems and are probably very strong, the former Harland Parker Boudreaux. How the fuck do you say his name, Box? Help me out here, sir.
Bordeaux? Oh, I'm sorry, Boudreaux.
Parker Boudreaux. Yes, Parker Boudreaux. Now Boudreaux. It all makes sense. And these fucking French people. Anyways, made his debut at Tuesday's AEW Dark tapings in Orlando, Florida. Ario Daivari, now going by the name Ari, introduced Boudreaux as a new recruit to this. Is going to be a McAfee thing, isn't it? To the Truth Busters stable he created during the tapings. Boudreaux, going under his real name, defeated Serpentico. He's off to a great start. Earlier in the tapings, Daivari cut a promo saying that his trust fund had hit and is now the richest person in pro wrestling. He later maybe he was taking some hush money. He later recruited former Ring of Honor star Slimmy, who also made his AEW debut during today's tapings. Boudreaux was released by WWE. See, the problem is I keep confusing him with Scarlett Bordeaux, which is weird for any number of reasons. Anyways, Boudreaux was released by WWE back on May 1st. After signing with the company in February of 2021, he made his debut in October of that year and soon aligned himself with Joe Gacy under the name Harland. After his release, Boudreaux appeared as part of MLW's 40-man Battle Riot match that was eventually won, spoilers for anybody who cares, by Jacob Fatu. There you go. How about that? Prior to becoming a professional wrestler, Boudreaux was a football player for the University of Central Florida. We talked about him quite a bit back in the day, or a couple of months ago, I guess, a couple of weeks, couple of months, however. Basically just being kind of baby Brock Lesnar. Like, he looks like Brock Lesnar's child. He has the Brock Lesnar haircut, the Brock Lesnar build, tattoos that appear to be slightly better than Brock's giant penis sword through his chest, but sort of the Brock Lesnar aesthetic.
Yeah, he does. He has that look, and he was right in the middle of a storyline when WWE or NXT released him. It was surprising. I really thought this was kind of a surprise because, he's got the look and everything that you would think of Vince McMahon would go for. So kind of confusing. This will be something, listen, he wasn't in developmental that long down in WWE. I'm assuming he probably could use a little more time anywhere he went just to get used to a new or a different company. He's really only been in one wrestling company in his life.
Right.
So I think they'll keep him on Dark for a while, give him a little time, and this could be big for them. I really don't know, but we'll see. But this could be a good signing for them.
Yeah, like Sean was saying in the Mixler chat here, he was supposed to be the next Brock Lesnar. If WWE is letting him go so quickly, he must suck. That was kind of my takeaway from that too. We were talking about it, is they seemed like they were really high on him, and it seemed like they were intending to keep him around for a very long time and sort of develop him and push him down our throats whether he was ready or not. It seemed like they had big things planned for him. So it was very surprising that they let him go.
Well,
very curious to see what his skill is.
Yeah, surprising they let him go. Surprising that they let him go in the middle of a storyline. And just like I said, he looks like the kind of guy that, Vince would fucking love. But I don't know if he sucked or not. Really, they didn't have him in just this giant speaking part, so I don't know how he was on promos. And did he ever really have a full match? I don't think so.
Right.
I don't know. But
good move for AEW though, because it's very low risk and potentially very high reward if he turns out to be anything of a Brock Lesnar caliber.
Yeah,
they're just putting him in basically just a random ass stable, and I guess he's gonna be doing Dark and maybe some Ring of Honor and whatnot. So it's like if he completely shits the bed, you're really not losing anything because it's on shows that not as many people watch as a Dynamite or a Rampage. So you really got nothing to lose.
Yeah, I mean, really, he's a big guy with tattoos. All you need him to do is go out there, flex a little bit, growl, and, there's 90% of his fucking character right there. I mean, seriously, look at the picture of him. He's basically just, flexing and growling. What else you need? What else do you want? What else do you want? What the fuck else do you want, Smark?
I could go for a couple of churros.
Ooh, that could be yummy right now.
Yeah.
A little cinnamon. A little sugar. Yeah. Be pretty good. Anyway.
Interesting take from Sean. He said he has no hopes for him doing well in AEW because look at how badly they fucked up Wardlow. I think that's interesting. I mean, they seem to be doing pretty well with him from what I've seen. I mean, they put the belt on him.
I don't think they fucked up Wardlow yet. I saw where Road Dogg said that he didn't agree with them putting the title on him, blah, blah, blah. He thinks that the AEW, it looks like an indie show. Road Dogg is a Triple H yes man. I'm not going to. Wasn't he begging AEW for a job like 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, he's kind of like a lesser version of Jeff Jarrett, which is probably one of the harshest things I could say about anybody. But like he's trying to get that, they have those Jeff Jarrett opportunities to make that Jeff Jarrett money, but he's just not getting the same way that Jeff Jarrett's getting them.
Oh yeah, and Sean, I did not see last week's Dynamite. I was in Florida. They had a chainsaw.
Yeah, well, it was not great. He did not look great in that segment, but by and large, I guess I should have there. By and large, they haven't done anything bad. But yeah, I mean, they do have kind of a checkered history with like using big men, because a lot of their projects have sort of fallen by the wayside over time. You had, like we're talking about Lance Archer, nothing really came of him being there. I guess he's injured again, potentially, maybe. I'm not entirely sure about that, but like the Brian Cage, everybody thought he was going to leave, and then he re-signed, and now he's just fucking back in the ether. He's back in purgatory. There's just they have a lot of big men on their roster, but very few actually end up sort of being fruitful for them, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, Christopher Kane must be watching AEW. He said Brody King is losing to Darby Allin. Want to bet? How much?
Like Brody King, though. They've been good use out of him. He looks pretty good.
And yes, Christopher Kane, Lance Archer is in the G1, which is not surprising. He spent a lot of time over there in Japan. He's a well-known guy over there, and I think he'll do just fine in the G1.
He has in the past. He really had a really good match with Bad Luck Fale, who is, in my opinion, the drizzling shits. So he did pretty well. Like, he's just kind of New Japan Big Show, if that like helps sum things up for you.
Christopher Kane doesn't want to make that bet anymore. I wonder why. Yeah, he said they're setting up Brody. Oh, Sean said they're setting up Brody King to lose to Rusev. Miro, first of all.
That's not the worst thing in the world, though. I mean, he's an actual credible talent.
Yeah,
they don't have him out here.
It really wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt either guy, honestly. Badly. I guess it could. I don't know.
I mean, just an example, they had Eddie Kingston lose to Miro, and that did nothing to hurt him in any way.
Yeah, but you'll also hear people go, well, that's because no one cares about Eddie Kingston.
Yes.
I mean, but, I guess that'll take us right into the first match on AEW Fyter Fest week 2, which I did not see week 1. I apologize, but like I said, I was in Florida. I did not give a shit about wrestling. Actually, I was driving back from Florida on Wednesday. We left Wednesday morning. The first thing I noticed is some dude in the front row with a sign that says, Meltzer is scared of Mama Cornette. And I instantly felt embarrassed for that person.
Yeah.
Just thought I would mention that right there. But Brody King did take this match. He picked up Darby afterwards, starts choking him. Sting comes down. He gets Brody right where he's about to hit that Scorpion Death Drop. The lights go out. We still hear the sound of the mat. And then next thing you know, it's Malachi face to face with Sting. Brody grabs Sting, puts him in a rear naked choke. We get Miro's music out there. And there's a little stare down. Now, I'm not sure Brody King will lose to Miro. That match is definitely going to happen in one way or the other. I don't know, man. They're looking to put the Redeemer over pretty good, and I think him beating Brody King would be a pretty good kind of start to the redemption of the Redeemer, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I don't think we really talked about it, but on like that last show before we went on break, like 2 weeks ago, he had a promo where he was basically just saying that he was like, it made me laugh because I was complaining about like the Young Bucks talking about how they have better matches and they better star ratings on their matches and they cut better promos and all the like using all these insidery terms that like sort of takes you out of things. And then on the exact flip side of that, Miro was like, I'm going to kill all of you. Like, I'm going to kill your entire stable and all of your spooky friends to appease my God. And it's like, wow, that's an entirely tonal shift right there.
Yeah, that took a turn.
Eh.
That took a little bit of a turn, but I don't know. See, now this whole chat room's got me thinking about who would win that match, and I mean, it really doesn't hurt either guy badly. If you get Miro, although you know what, I no, it would actually hurt Miro more than Brody. It would. So I think Miro needs to win that match. Again, he needs to be, if he's the Redeemer, he's coming back to, get redemption, then he needs to start with a good win over a big guy like this, which I have no problem watching these two fucking hosses go at it in the fucking ring at all. So, but after that, Smark, we had the Best Friends versus John Moxley and Wheeler Utah. It was a good match. Same match we've been seeing out of the Blackpool Combat Club.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure. I mean, nothing new, nothing. It was brutal. It was a good match. There was nothing to brag about. Moxley and Yuta win.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. They've been trying to, get a lot of people behind Yuta. They've been pushing him pretty hard. Seems like it was more of the same of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I might have missed a little bit here.
Okay.
I do know that rapper Kevin Gates knocked out Tony Nese.
Yes.
But when I came back, I lost internet twice during this show. Once was right here. When I came back, it was Christian and Luchasaurus versus the Varsity Blondes, and they were pretty much mid-match. So what did I miss?
I think that was it, actually. I don't think anything else happened.
Okay.
I'm going to double check to make absolutely sure, but I think that was the next segment after the Kevin Gates segment. All
right. And I have to admit, I did not know who rapper Kevin Gates was, so I had to look that up. I didn't have to admit that, but I will. Now, I'm going to move on as you're looking that up real quick. If we can always go right back to it. Now, Christian and Luchasaurus were out there versus the Varsity Blondes. We had Christian, who ended up pinning Pillman Jr. in that match, and then suddenly we hear Jungle Boy's music, and the crowd is very happy to see Jungle Boy singing his song to him. He's got a chair in his hand, and he gets down, and he's face to face with Luchasaurus. They're staring each other down. They're looking. Luchasaurus is tilting his head like he's a little puppy, and suddenly Jungle Boy holds up the chair like he's going to hit him, and Luchasaurus stands right beside Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy runs in the ring. Christian runs out. They chase each other like Sylvester and Tweety. Or Tom and Jerry, maybe.
Well, there you go. Either one. They're both timeless.
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of what that reminded me of. I don't know why, but that last little part with Jungle Boy chasing Christian reminded me of Tom and Jerry. So it reminded me of a fucking cartoon. I don't know why.
Yeah, and it seems like it's just kind of disappointing, I guess, that they're already like sort of having Luchasaurus, like, I guess, be face again.
But is he?
Yeah, well, I don't know.
But
I guess
is he?
A little ambiguous.
But whose side is he on?
He's the third man.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have a problem with them switching him right back to being the babyface because I don't think the crowd was really into him being a heel at all. I don't think anyone cared. So I think this will be fine. I'll tell you what they really should do is leave him as kind of this evil Luchasaurus, but with Jungle Boy. I'm fine with that.
I think people just wanted to see him without the mask and maybe see his character change a little bit. And I guess if he's unwilling to do that or that he doesn't want to do that, they think it's not a good idea or whatever. If he's going to keep being Luchasaurus, I guess it'd make more sense for him to be a face than to be an evil dinosaur. That's pretty fucking wacky, but, you know, whatever.
Well, you can always open the door, get on the floor.
Everybody walk the dinosaur. Of course.
Oh, shit. I'm glad you caught that. All right. So, after all that, then, we had Cole Carter, who they had been pushing this guy like fucking, like the next John Cena was coming out. Cole Carter versus Ricky Starks. This was for the FTW title. Starks did retain, which I think everyone expected him to. There's no reason to. First of all, I don't understand why, if this title's not recognized, why we're having a match on a show with a ref, the timekeeper. You see where I'm going here?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let's just forget all that happened. And after Starks wins, he takes the mic and says, "Hey, I got more in the tank. I want another challenger." Well, Danhausen comes down, and love the guy or hate the guy, the crowd is really into Danhausen. They love this guy. So Danhausen comes down, and he's all, "Let's go right now." And Starks is like, "Nope. Next week, motherfucker. Next week."
As Christopher Kane says in the chat, now I need a nap. That's how I felt about that, too. I like Ricky Starks, though, but I just feel like and yeah, he is over. So, I mean, I guess to be fair, if that's what the people want, that's what the people want. But yeah. I just feel like anybody that's involved in Danhausen is being wasted. Like, I couldn't care less about this. I know I'm in the minority here. Everybody seems to love him, but it seems like a waste of Ricky Starks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say I love the Danhausen character. I think it's a good character. I think it's funny. It's kind of got that. If you really look at his character, he's the Riddler and the Joker together. That's, I mean, he's got the whole, kind of got the whole Batman theme when he comes out and everything. But he's kind of like those two evil characters kind of together, the Riddler and the Joker. And I think it's fun. I could see where it could also be very annoying to a lot of people, his character. So I get that. I don't mind it. I think it's kind of a cool character. I think it's kind of a good time character that you can have fun with, and him being annoying is part of his character, in my opinion. So
yeah, probably. I think it's really my issue is more of maybe with like his hardcore fan base than him necessarily, but they're always going to be one and the same. It just there's people who fucking just add house into things and then think that they're funny. I find it to be just incredibly painful. It's like how everybody is just like, everybody agrees that like The Office is the funniest thing in the world. and they all just quote The Office to each other, and they all like laugh and high five, and it just makes me like want to go crawl into a hole somewhere.
Now, you say The Office. Are we talking movie or TV show?
The TV show, particularly the U.S. version.
Never seen a full episode.
Yeah, I don't. I've probably seen like one, but yeah, I haven't watched it either. It's apparently the funniest thing that's ever happened on planet Earth.
I saw the movie. I liked the movie.
I have never seen the movie either.
I saw the movie. That's the one with Jennifer Aniston, right?
Are you thinking of Horrible Bosses?
No.
She played a horrible boss in that movie. Christopher Kane does not seem not seem particularly fond of this Kevin Gates AEW segment. Quote, "This promo is taking too long."
Which promo? Which promo was he on?
Well, it's the Kevin Gates. Well, it's Kevin Gates and AEW, and then this promo is taking too long. So I'm putting 2 and 2 together on that one, and just assuming it's the promo where he slaps.
Got it. See, I missed some of that, which I'm lucky for. After that, we get Tony Schiavone in the ring, and he brings out FTR. What was that?
Oh no! It made me laugh because it was like, I forget what led to this, but he was like, oh, they were talking about Christian. Yeah. They were talking not Xavier, fucking Excalibur was saying that he was like a world-class scumbag and piece of shit, and then he was like, he's just a terrible human being, he's a scumbag piece of shit. Tony Schiavone's here, and it made it sound like he was calling Tony Schiavone that, and there was just like this weird awkward pause before Tony started talking, and it made me laugh.
Well, that's not nice. We know Tony's not a piece of shit completely, but he did bring out FTR. And I'll tell you, if you got any other guys that are over in this company, FTR is certainly over in this fucking company.
Yes.
And then, they come out, they cut their little promo about the whole ROH thing going down this weekend. And Dax had me fucking choking up with the story he told about his daughter with the whole congenital heart, the hole and everything. My God, dude. That was awful, and obviously it turned out to be a great story with, they found nothing and everything is, the hole is all gone and cleared. But my God, man, it was fucking heart-wrenching. That whole story about his daughter. Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I give him shit sometimes for not being able to cut a good promo, but it was a pretty decent promo. It at least made them relatable. It was something other than just, we're going to fight to preserve the integrity of tag team wrestling.
Well, it's amazing how you come out there, you cut a promo, which didn't seem like what he was doing. It sounded like he was just speaking from the heart, and how great that sounds. When you're not having to read a scripted promo and you're literally just speak from the heart about family and what means the most to you. Crazy, isn't it? Indeed, sir. Indeed. But then right from there, they're like, hey, it's time to get into some women's matches. Athena and Willow Nightingale versus Jade Cargill and Kiera Hogan. Then we got a nut. Now, what, if I'm correct, that was Jermaine Dupri down there with Mr. Hathaway?
I believe so.
All right. There you go. So I don't know what they were doing tonight. They just had a bunch of special guest rappers down there.
Jermaine Dupri in 2022. How about it?
I don't know, man. But
it's been good 20 or so years since he's been relevant. But, God bless him for still being out there, I guess.
Well, wrestling shows are known to strike when the iron is hot. We know this.
Yes, hopefully Jay Quan will be on the next show.
Well, we'll see. I don't know. Heard they're trying to get Jim Carrey still. Cargill.
be pretty awesome. Fucking Jim Carrey as Andy Kaufman.
That would be awesome. Actually, I would watch that. Cargill and Hogan won that match. It wasn't anything. I don't know. I'll be honest. Right after that match, right in the middle of the thunderstorm promo, is when I lost internet again.
Perhaps this wasn't such a bad thing.
I kind of read that it wasn't the worst thing to happen at that time. I missed Jericho's entrance though for the next match, which was the main event, which was the barbed wire everywhere match. Even Justin Roberts' microphone had barbed wire on it, Smark.
Yes, indeed.
Because there was barbed wire everywhere. I don't know if you know what that means. That means everywhere you look, there will be barbed wire.
Mm-hmm.
Even on the microphone, which was the most unnecessary bullshit I've ever seen in my life, I got to tell you.
It was kind of funny and just how unnecessary it was. And then, like, as far as I remember, it never came back into play. Like, nobody ever got the microphone used against them.
Listen, it was a nice touch. I get it. But did we need to have the microphone in barb? No, it was unnecessary. It was unnecessary. I'm sorry. I find a few things unnecessary. That was one of them right there. Now, don't forget, this was Jericho versus Eddie Kingston, but we had the Jericho Appreciation Society was suspended in the air in a shark cage, because now, Smark, I don't know if you know this or not, it's Shark Week, which I don't know if you know, but they reminded us a couple of times. It's Shark Week.
Dear fucking God, is it ever Shark Week?
It is. And again, my internet was out at this point still. When I got back, now I know this match only started at like quarter till, so there was not a lot of time anyway to this match. I got back. Tay Conti was beating up Ruby Soho. And Anna Jay had just run out, threw Tay Conti off of Ruby Soho, and was like, "What the fuck you doing? What the fuck you doing?" And then Anna Jay turns and hits Ruby and lowers down Jericho Appreciation Society. I know I missed a good chunk because Jericho was bleeding.
It's honestly, and I say this as somebody who's a really big Eddie Kingston fan, it felt super fucking slow. Like, it felt like a really, for what it was, for the stakes involved and for the stipulation involved, it just seemed really kind of boring. It seemed really slow and really plotty, and it seemed like a whole lot of nothing happened, honestly.
All right, I can see that. I also noticed the end of the match looked very, I hate using this word, but clunky. Like, I don't know if Eddie Kingston was, he might look like he really hurt his hand on Jericho's jaw, number one. I don't know. I don't know if he was a little loopy or what, but it seemed like he was a little slow in the end of the match there. So,
maybe. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's how the whole match felt to me. Is it just like it felt like they were working in quicksand? It seemed like it was just very sort of plotting and just uneventful.
That's a great way to put it. Like they were working in fucking quicksand. That's almost like it fucking seemed. Like exactly. I don't think I could put it any better than that. That's probably the best, absolute best fucking comparison to that match. It did. It looked like they were fucking wrestling in quicksand. Perfect. And
watching the Canadian version of the show, of course.
Oh.
I didn't see it, but the fact that they went to picture in picture during the main event and during a barbed wire match, like, was disappointing to me.
Dude, the picture in picture, I'm gonna say it one more time. They're taking advantage of us. They really are. Every match does not need to go picture in picture. That Brody King Darby Allin match did not have to go to picture in picture. Matter of fact, that match should have been very short, a beating. If Darby was going to go ahead and lose, why not make Brody King look like a fucking beast that he is, go out there and beat the living shit out of Darby Allin, let him throw that fucking kid around and look like a beast. No, they have to go to fucking picture in picture. Darby has to get all this offense in. Unnecessary. And I would have rather have seen the main event go longer and this match be shorter.
Yeah, and I mean, that was my problem. Like, I understand that you have to do it sometimes because you have sponsors and you have to get your quota in and all that, good stuff. But it was literally like a 13-minute match. Like, when they started, it was like 9:47, or at your time 8:47. It was like 13 minutes before the hour. Is the point. So, like, you didn't need a commercial break in a 13-minute match. Like, it just seemed unnecessary. And then I was watching the version of the feed that didn't have the commercial break. And if you're wondering what you missed during picture in picture, they both just sort of laid there. So that's what you were watching if you weren't watching the commercial. So it's just like, fuck, like, why are you doing this? If it's a 13-minute match and it's your main event and it's this big feud that you spent so much time on, just fucking let them go. Like, did we really need a fucking Thunder Rosa promo that really didn't go anywhere? Or the fucking Stokely Lee Hathaway segment with the mean Mark Sterling getting, or not the Stokely Hathaway, but mean Mark Sterling getting slapped? Like, did we need all this bullshit, or the fucking guy in the shark costume? Like, there was so much dumb bullshit that you could have just had a commercial break during instead of the main event that was supposed to be so important.
I totally agree. I do. But I don't know, man. They prefer to make every match seem, for some reason, they think a match seems more important if there's picture in picture.
Right.
I got to tell you, it takes me out of the match. I've said it before. I don't care if it's picture in picture. The picture on the commercial is bigger than the picture of your match. And my brain goes where the sound is. And
Right.
the sound of the commercial is what I'm looking at. I'm not even looking at the fucking match half the time. Half the time I just pick up my phone when it fucking happens anyway, because I know nothing big is going to happen during picture in picture. Even though every now and then it does, because they don't know how to fucking time anything very well lately.
Right. Yeah, the only time I ever remember anything like of significance happening, and that's debatable, is there was a one match. It was Orange Cassidy and Jack Evans, and Orange Cassidy beat him during the commercial break.
Yeah.
And then people were just like angry about it, and they felt cheated. So it was like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. If you have something important happen during the commercial break, the picture in picture, people feel like they've been cheated out of something. And then if you don't have anything interesting happen, then, people that aren't watching the picture-in-picture feed, they're fucking bored to tears for 2 or 3 minutes anyway. It's a lose-lose sort of proposition. But, yeah, you don't have to have every fucking match, like, especially not the main event. Like, if the main event should be special. Yeah. Like, unless it's something that's, like, really long, like how they had that the cage match, Blood and Guts a couple weeks ago. Right. I understand you got a break at that point, but if you're having a 13-minute, 15-minute match, whatever, just let it run.
Yeah, or shorten it. One of the two. Either, again, not every fucking match has to go picture in picture. It just doesn't fucking have to happen. It's not worth it. Bullshit.
Also, real quick, as we're getting ready to wrap things up, I didn't mention it. It's not really a complaint as much as it is just, it seems weird. The FTR thing. Mm-hmm. Like, the promo was good, but, like, they're feuding with the Briscoes and Ring of Honor, but then you can't bring the Briscoes onto TV because of the network exec that doesn't want anything to do with the Briscoes, so you can't have them be in AEW. That's the story anyway.
Right.
It just feels weird because like they're talking about people and they're feuding with people that you're not allowed to see on your television. So it's just like it feels so weird. Like they're gonna have the match. It's not bait and switch, but it's just like it's like back in the day. I think it was like New Jack, or it might have been Sabu, but somebody like wasn't allowed to be on television for a while on ECW because of like legal issues, and they could mention them, but they couldn't have them on TV. So it was like it was weird because they would do that, and it felt like that.
Yeah, that is pretty fucking weird, man. But and you're right. I didn't even catch that or kind of think about it, but you're right. It is weird having them sit there and talk about that, and you can't get the Briscoes on, but I don't know. That's going to be a good fucking match, though.
And it's a rematch, too, though. So it's not like a situation where, like, you had to get the belts off the Briscoes. You already did that. Like, you didn't have to do a rematch. I honestly wonder, like, I wouldn't be surprised if the Briscoes win that match and they just have them on Ring of Honor. I guess you can't use them on TNT or whatever, but wherever the fuck Ring of Honor is going to be, if they're going to have a television deal or whatever, I don't know. But I wouldn't be surprised if they won that.
No, I wouldn't either. I would not be surprised either. It'll be a good match. I mean, the first one was good. This will be another good one. So we shall find out, man.
Yep.
And
they cut like addressing FTR, and it was pretty great because you have Jay Briscoe just cutting this serious, intense promo, and behind him you have Mark Briscoe pouring chocolate syrup into a glass of milk. Like he's just sitting there making his own chocolate milk while Jay Briscoe is talking about how they're going to prove that they're the best tag team in the world. And it's a great dynamic. I love how just that's Mark Briscoe's role now. Is he just like he eats ice cream sandwiches, he makes chocolate milk. He just does whatever the fuck he wants to do while they're filming the promo.
I mean, sometimes you need a chocolate milk, man, you know? It's just the way it is.
And it's pretty great. I love Mike Briscoe.
Yeah. Yeah, those guys are fucking great. I think they're money. I think someone needs to fucking just nut up and fucking get them on television. I know they're on Impact. That ain't television. I know it is television, but not everyone has that fucking highest tier of cable. So the point of Jade Cargill winning Christopher Kane is she is gorgeous and a big star for that company. Will be. Guarantee.
I saw a lot of stuff online about that. She broke the Goldberg streak.
She did. She's at over 500 days. Goldberg was at, what did they say, 492 or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. But anyway, I think that's about it, man. Get this bad boy wrapped up. I'm fucking tired.
Yeah, I have to go to the bathroom.
Oh, I can't believe I got to fucking go back to work tomorrow. It's fucking, I'll bet it's over 95 degrees here still. And it's 11:30 at night. Let's see. It is exactly 95 degrees at 11:30 at night.
All right, you have me beat because I was checking the weather while we were doing the show, and it's only 80 here, but it is literally 88% humidity, and that just sounds god-awful.
Ooh, that does. But again, I don't mind the humidity, man. Listen, it's like I said, it's hot, and it was hot in Florida too, but I loved it. I didn't bitch one fucking time. It's a different heat. I swear to God, in Texas, I feel like I'm under a broiler all day here. I don't feel like that when I'm down there in Florida. I don't know, the ocean breeze, it feels cooler than here.
It will be if it's off the ocean because you do get like in Chicago they have the lake effect.
Oh shit, it's 102 where Sean is right now. Fuck.
Well, you got us beat.
Jesus, fuck me running. Hell no.
He's just on his phone in the Mixler chat inside of a parked car.
My God, 102?
Fucking A, yeah, that does sound terrible.
My God. How does your AC even fucking work?
Yeesh.
Yuck. All right. We can go ahead and wrap this bad boy up. Which, man, it's a dry heat. I don't want to hear the dry heat shit.
It's still too hot for me. I don't
Fucking sitting there in Vegas in July. They're telling me it's a dry heat. Yeah, my fucking shoes are melting. That's not dry. Okay. Fucking dry heat my ass. It's not fucking dry. It's burning everything off. It's not a dry heat. It's burning shit off.
Yeah, he sort of contradicts himself because he says he's up here in the valley where they get the wildfires. It's like, yeah, that's how fucking hot it is. It's just trees start on fire randomly.
Yeah, they just combust. They just self-combust. Trees just go, fuck it. I'm burning myself up.
Yeah, there's a Ring of Honor pay-per-view this weekend. I think it's Saturday. I don't remember what the name of the show is, but they've been promoting it.
You see two trees just starting to rub each other together just to start a fire, and fuck it, we're dead. Fuck it.
Tree aside, I fucking we were having a party. I told you this off air, but we were having a party for my grandparents. They share the same birthday. It was in May. We put some balloons out there, and it was so fucking hot. The balloons just popped, like all their own. Nobody was around them. They just literally just fucking exploded.
Dude.
Which weren't helium, thank God, because that would have been fucking terrible. But just regular, plastic balloons. But yeah, it's so hot that they just pop.
Well, you know what they say about balloons? If you can't take the heat, stay out of the kitchen.
That's right.
No, that's not right at all. But thank you for trying to help me out there. All right. Hey, Sean's excited for this pay-per-view, this Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view. That's good, man. I either see people really excited for it or I'm not watching that shit.
Probably watch
that. There's really no in-between, like, I might watch and I may. It's either, oh, I'm fucking pumped, or, oh, this looks like shit and it's not even a real promotion. Stop with that shit.
I mean, it's kind of AEW developmental at this point, and I can see that argument.
I mean, I could see where you wouldn't want to call it a real promotion, but, why? Because they don't have TV? Neither does half of the fucking indie promotions out there.
Right.
They're real promotions, too. So, anyway, we'll see what's going on over there with that show. It should be a good show this weekend. I'll do my best to check it out. I've got a fucking crazy weekend coming up this weekend. But that is it. I'm trying to look and see if there's anything else. I got nothing else. I will kick the music. Anyway, I appreciate everyone jumping on in tonight. Definitely appreciate everybody coming on back since I was on vacation last week, but definitely, guys, be checking out the high marks. It's Cheese Man, it's Mojo, it's G Wiz, and I can't believe these guys haven't started a show called Cheese Wiz yet. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Definitely be checking them out. Sundays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Mixler.com/Metal Mitt Podcast Network. Be checking those guys out. And, of course, Bobby Anthem, Bobby Blades, the Inhumans on the Inhuman Experience. Check out them on all the usual podcast platforms. And, of course, Eric, Doug, and Daniel. They are over there on the EUP Network on Blog Talk Radio. Everything Unscripted Wrestling Podcast. Check them out on all the usual podcast platforms. And Stephen Milan, he's over there on Letterboxd, BOXD.com/Stephen Milan. Check him out also. And I will be back this Saturday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time doing something. Not quite sure what. Gonna see if see what I'm doing, and I'll let y'all know. Go for it, Smark.
All right. Cheese on Sports returns Monday, August 15th. Less than a month away. And in the meantime, what you want to do is you want to listen to Mojo and Dirk's Most Dastardly Show. Dirk was in here earlier. He was saying he was torn between listening to us and a WNC reunion show, and that was his last message in the chat. So we know who won. So if you're listening to this, Dirk, to hell with you. Mojo and Mojo only. And also what you want to do is check out Planet Raconteur. Planet Raconteur, that's Bobby Anthem. He doesn't abandon his friends, unlike Dirk. You got Papa Dave Sincere, and you got Yuck Nasty. All three of them. They're a trio there. They got season 1, that's 16 episodes. Season 2, we're up to 10, I believe, and there are new episodes on the horizon just rolling down the pike. So be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss an episode, because trust me, you won't want to.
All right. That's it, folks. On that note, once again, thanks everybody stopping by. And we will see y'all next week right here on Wrestling Outlet. See ya!
Yes.
Yeah!